Hi, I'm Alix Paultre, and I'm here at the Things Conference in Amsterdam with Mark Pegulu from Semtech. How's it going, Mark?
Very well, thank you. I'm so glad to be here after, since 2020. Last time I was here in January. So, yeah.
Well, and the beautiful thing is not only are people, they want to get back together again, there are a lot of new solutions available too.
Yeah, we see indeed a big jump. So nobody has been sleeping during those pandemic years. I think it helped everyone to reflect on what is important, how to use the technology to make a difference into the world.
But that's what it's all about, right? At the end of the day, you could have a chip that's superconducting at room temperature, but if you don't explain how it can make a product better, you're just wasting everyone's time.
Yeah, totally. If you cannot show that you have an impact on your life, or maybe on business operations, or on environmental kind of influence, everybody's talking about the climate change. Well, we can act, right? We can help to minimize this impact.
Well, and it's all part and parcel, right? The more streamlined your industrial processes are, the more efficient the power supplies are, the more better you can monitor and manage the systems. It all adds up together, right?
Yeah, totally. So every little thing is important. And what we need is diversity of data. No, it's not about the big data, having one sensor sending so much data. No, we have to be smart, we have to be low power, and we have to bring this diversity of data. And, among the data, a very important one that we believe in too is geolocation.
Right. Well, asset tracking, geolocation, it ties into everything from supply chains to saving the planet. You could monitor a container across the planet, or you can monitor a turtle migrating to its, laying grounds.
Right, totally. So automated geolocation in IoT means, you can be more efficient, you can minimize human errors. So if you can do remote monitoring of your assets, locations, basically you can anticipate when a goods is on the right track, when it's going to arrive to your suppliers, to your customers, and you can inform them. So, in the end, you are saving time, you're saving money, and you're saving waste of resources.
Well, but that's all about it, because if you're on top of your entire supply chain, number one, you're not going to have any interruptions in manufacturing. And I don't know if we can go back to just-in-time manufacturing, but we can get closer to running a smaller inventory, running a less of a ragged edge, as it were, that we're doing during the COVID years.
Right. So that's one of the primary use cases and one of the business drivers today. It's the one you expose. Now, what we want to bring ourselves is we want to democratize geolocation, because it's still too expensive. So LoRa is the first answer to that, cheap connectivity, low power, enabling battery-operated devices. But now we want to bring geolocation as common as an horizontal technology like wireless connectivity, while geolocation has to be everywhere in every device. And so we are going to bring new platforms to the market.
Well, now, but then again, just to toss in a little bit of competition here, isn't that what 5G is promising to everyone, that everything is going to be connected and they'll be with beam steering, we'll know exactly where everything is, and we'll pinpoint every device everywhere?
Right. So I think 5G is a very good technology, but it serves different purpose. 5G is going to be for communication of high bandwidth. This is how it has been architected. We are positioned on the battery-operated devices. So this is really, really the difference between the two type of technologies. And so I'm working for Semtech, and it's no news that we acquired recently Sierra Wireless in cellular. And we have always said that cellular and LoRa are complementary, and we are going to demonstrate that to the market. But when it comes back to geolocation, like you said, there are different technologies, and the technologies fit certain use cases. 5G will be perfect for, I would say, higher, more expensive asset management. Maybe, with large battery, or, that's what they are targeting. We are targeting really the simple type of devices, starting by the one requiring mobility. So you mentioned, pallet tracking, returnable packaging, kind of tracking, all of that is really good. But geolocation goes beyond. Actually, we are going to bring geolocation to fixed assets. So the question is, why do you need, to geolocate something which is not moving? It doesn't seem very intuitive. Well, because there are a lot of business operation that you can optimize if you know where your asset has been installed, right? Think about how many human errors that you are making by saying, I installed this sensor in this place. Actually, it's not in the right place. And then you are capturing the data from the device. It's telling you, the temperature is that much. but actually it's not coming from the right place. Well, now you can verify, right? You can have anybody, you don't need any technical skill, install a device, you don't need to map it. We can locate it for you, if you want, a few hours later or maybe next year, you can verify. So all of that is super important for the operation. That's why in the future, every asset, whether it's mobile or fixed, will be, with geolocation capability.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. And now, correct me if I'm wrong, but couldn't you use that technology also in a very sensitive area and not just have them geolocated for work purposes, but have them geolocated for security purposes? That file cabinet should not be moved. And then it turns out moving. You're like, hey, it's not supposed to move.
Totally. So the geofencing indeed is a key use case about how you can use geolocation in a smart way. So you're completely right. And close to security is also about trusting the data, because security is super important. You want to make sure that the data privacy and data security, is there. You want to make sure that you can trust that a sensor sensing a data is a real sensor and it's not a machine kind of generating fake data.
So James Bond can't sneak into my facility and swap out a camera and I go, that's not the same camera.
and the question is, how do you use geolocation? Why geolocation for that? Well, so you're expecting a sensor to communicate the data from a certain location. Mm-hmm. So of course, all the data stream is encrypted. But if in addition, you can prove that the sensor which sends the data is sending from the right location, then it's even better. It has an additional level of security. You trust that the sensor is a real one and is sending the data from the right location.
So then that optimizes your data security to a level that would be, you'd need a physical person to look at it to make sure that it was that secure otherwise.
Exactly. You got it completely, Alex.
Well, the nice thing is you explain it so well. Mark, so before I let you go, do you have any last thoughts or ideas for our audience or something that they want to follow up on or you'd like them to pay attention to?
Well, I think for me, I would like to link that to the conference, the Things conference. We can't know everything ourselves. We are an enabler with technology, we are enabling. But the real applications, we count on all the developers to make the best of the technology and solve real world problems. So our mission is just to enable the ecosystem and rely on them to make LoRa and LoRaWAN the best technology to solve world problems.
Very nice, Mark. Thank you so much for taking the time, especially at this busy conference, to chat with us.
Well, thank you so much, Alex.
And stay in tune for Aniset Giamo from ST Micro. They're going to be talking about their system-on-chip device, and we'll be exploring that solution with the next segment.